Hi, students. In this episode, when I was chatting with Symbiosis, students who are currently pursuing their BBA, I kind of realized that Symbiosis not only provides you with a very good quality education, but they also have a very strong student exchange program. So, see this episode, make pointers because we are talking about the curriculum, we are talking about the academics, we are talking about how you would get the opportunity to update your skills, and more specifically, the student exchange program which Symbiosis offer. So, let's go ahead.
Welcome to the Campus Insider session. So let's welcome panelists today, Anika and Raghavi with us, Anika Kalpade and Raghavi Chug. Thank you so much, Ani, for joining us for this particular session. All right. So what we will do is we will start with your introduction. All right. And you would get an understanding of what kind of background they have. And it will be easier for you to understand the kind of profiles you would find in Symbiosis. Okay, let's start with Anika. Please introduce yourself.
Hello, good everyone. My name is Anika Talpade and I'm from Pune. So currently I'm a second year student here at Symbiosis Center for Management Studies. So I'll start a bit with my background. So I'm a commerce student. I completed my 12th standard from a CBSE board and I secured a 97 percentage in my board exams. Now, coming to the exam, I managed to clear my SCT with a 99.9 percentile, and that's how I started my journey into SCMS. So in my first year at SCMS, I was a part of the placement cell as an internship coordinator. Now coming to my second year, I am the head of the sports wing of our college fest, Simpulse. And I'm also the core member of our sports committee. And another thing, there is a program offered called the GIP, which is an exchange program. And I've been selected for that. And I'll be doing a semester abroad in Berlin in my fifth semester. And yes, that's a bit about my background here. And I'll be sure to talk more about it in the rest of this meeting. And yes, I'm excited to interact with the rest of you and all the best. Yeah, thank you.
So, hello everyone. Thank you so much for having me here today. My name is Raghavi Chog. Coming to my background, I am from Ahmedabad. I have done my entire schooling from an ICSE board and then it was ISC board. In my 10th, I scored a 99 percentage and in my 12th, I scored a 94.75. In my SCT, I had a 98.3 percentile and that's how I got into Symbiosis. Coming to my life in Symbiosis, for the first year, I was a part of three clubs. One was dancing because I'm really passionate about that. And secondly, I was a core member of the entrepreneurship cell. And thirdly, I was an internship coordinator as the same as Anika. Coming forward to my second year, I am heading the entrepreneurship cell now. And I'm a core member of the alumni cell. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the rest of the meeting and interacting with all of you. So I was in Anand Niketan Shilaj in Ahmedabad. And before that, I was in Bodakdev. But I think Nandini, are you from Ahmedabad as well?
Finally, you all have kind of, you know whom you guys are talking to. So the panelists we have are definitely kind of have made their mark. At the same time, they have made their presence felt in Symbiosis by making sure that, they are doing their own part, whether it's being, heading a certain committee or, being a coordinator with the placement cell. Now let's understand their journey. I'm sure all of you would have this one particular question in their mind in terms of how did they decide on going with Symbiosis? Because somewhere, possibly 6, 8 months down the line, this is something what you guys would go through. You would have multiple choices and you would be going crazy. Symbiosis or Christ or Symbiosis or any other university. So let's understand what were their options and what exactly made them decide on Symbiosis, starting with you, Ram.
Sure. So coming to my options, I basically about my background, I'm a commerce student and I had maths only till my 10th standard. So if you would all know, there are a lot of colleges that get like out of my options considering I did not have maths. So the options that I was considering were Christ, DU, Symbiosis, and the IIMs. So IIMs being IIMs, that was my priority, but then that was a close call. And coming to rest of it, from DU, NM does offer another course where you can which you can opt for without maths. But then my personal preference from between Christ, NMIMS, Symbiosis, and DU was Symbiosis. So that is how I ended up in considering all my options.
So your options were very clear that you wanted something which would give you the quality of education you are looking out for. And without maths, I think this was something which was the best one. Anika, what was your journey? What options did you had, and how exactly you decided on choosing Symbiosis?
Okay, so my options were somewhat similar to Ragvi's. When I was applying, I considered Symbiosis Pune, I considered NMIMS, Christ, and also Xavier's. But the main reason I selected SCMS were firstly the rankings. I think Symbiosis is the best ranked out of all of these and has received a third in the country by Times BBA, which is a very prestigious ranking. Secondly, it has really good placements. It has almost 100% placement rate with really high and sizable packages. Apart from that, it also offers this unique program, which I mentioned, called GIP, which is one of the main factors that I applied here, and it really drew me to this college. Apart from that, it has a wide selection of subjects which you can choose from, especially with your majors and minors. And also, it offered the 4-year program, which many of these other colleges on the list did not offer in the year that I applied. And I was keen on completing 4 years of undergrad education. And apart from that, it has a very vibrant student life here, lots of co-curricular activities to choose from. So that these are the reasons which drew me to Symbiosis Pune, and I think I've made a great choice after spending my first year here.
Indeed, indeed. Looking at right now the journeys, for both of you, definitely it's working pretty well for you. Okay, so tell me something, Anika and Ragvi. After choosing Symbiosis, normally, for a normal student, it would be, considering last year NEP was applicable, how exactly the first year with Symbiosis feels like? Okay, is there a freshers party? If yes, how exactly the aura of the college looks like? And then we can move to curriculum. But I want to understand how the first year for both of you felt like, starting with you, Anika.
Yes, we definitely did have all that. We had a week-long induction week, and we had a sort of outbound day where they took the entire batch to this resort. We had a very fun day. We got to mingle with our batchmates, participate in lots of fun activities. After which, yeah, we did have our other social gatherings in the first week itself, which had a really nice touch to it and got us all acquainted with each other. And apart from that, yeah, we started with our first year of college, through the Freshers Week.
Raghav, what about you? Do you want to add something to that?
Yeah, so I'll add to that. As I said, like as she's mentioned, we have an outbound, and I think that really helps out when you're kind of scared to join a new environment. You don't know, how things are going to flow. So the induction really helps you out with giving you kind of an idea on what you're looking forward to. And coming to the first year, as you mentioned, with the new NEP, so I think I can tell first year in two ways. One was the academic approach, and the other was the extracurricular. So coming to academics, the first one is a very general year because we get to pick choices in the second year. So the first year is more of you get a gist of all kind of subjects that you're going to have and what are your preferences, what probably majors you're planning to pick in the second year. So the first year more of has kind of all subjects. You do not really get a choice. You just get a choice for the MDC, which is a multidisciplinary course that is an elective course that you're allowed to pick for Saturdays. And coming to extracurriculars, as you mentioned about fresher parties, so I would say one of the major things that all students look forward to with their college life is a vibrant campus, a vibrant college life. And I think Symbiosis gives you 100% for that. The amount of parties, so as it's not just about parties, it's a lot of exposure that you earn when it comes to extracurricular events. So we have around 25 clubs, and we all the clubs compete for a Club of the Year trophy. So all the clubs are hosting events every time. So first year is a very hectic, but I would say a very fun journey because you kind of go to all events. You're also very excited to see what each club has to offer. So I think like that, it's really great.
Fantastic. That is really great. Okay. So basically, when we talk about curriculum, we have covered the curriculum aspect as well, where we just mentioned that you don't really get an option apart from the MDC, which is the multidisciplinary, options what the student has. Okay. So when it comes to the curriculum, is it very, because math is not something which is a part, they are kind of making it mandatory. For my, I have a soft corner for the students who are not really good with maths. Okay. And I'm sure we will have a lot here. How many of you can say they are good with maths? I call myself mathematically challenged. How many of you can say I am not good with maths? See, we have so many students who would say that they're not good with maths. Okay. So, because they're not good with maths, when it comes to the whole curriculum of BBA, how mathematically heavy it is? Whoever wants to kind of take up that question, and if you would want to go first.
Sure. So, firstly, even if you're not good at math, it is not a problem. We do have one course in our first semester, business math, but it's a very basic course and it just prepares you in case you want to take up stream which involves mathematics in your later years. So, that is a compulsory course, but it's only for one semester. And after that, if you're not inclined towards math and you don't want to take up any stream which concerns math, then you have that choice in your second year where you can pick your majors and minors. And the only majors which I think involve math are the finance and business analytics. The rest are not math heavy at all. So if you're not, into maths at all, you don't have to worry about anything. It's just that one subject, but that is also very introductory and very basic. So I think all of you will be able to easily tackle it.
Fantastic. What about, would you like to add something to that, Ravi?
I think I'll add to that in a very personal tone that, as I mentioned, I opted out of maths the first chance I got. So I think I could relate to all of you all who think they're mathematically challenged because I personally hate maths. So when I got to know that we do have maths in our curriculum, even I was a little concerned. But as Anika mentioned, it's not at all like a very difficult. You won't be having any higher mathematic topics like calculus. So it's a very basic course. And again, there are a lot of students, a lot of my friends who are from a science background or from an arts background. So they do, when even if we have that math subject, the faculty will start from the very basics. So I don't think you will face any problem even if you're not good with maths.
Okay. So you will not really face problem with mathematics, and students who are asking in the chat box about a lot of questions about entrance tests, do not worry. Entrance test level is easy to moderate and not difficult. So it's not that crack ही नहीं होगा. So if you guys are scared, ma'am, IPMAT and all, it's not of that level. It is easy to moderate, which is very much crackable. So just make sure you keep on practicing. Okay. Let's move on to the campus life. Okay. Now, when we talk about campus life, I hope you all are aware that Symbiosis BBA program is a residential program, right? Am I right? It's a residential program, Anika, and there is a hostel facility as well available.
Right. So there is a hostel facility available, but then it's not compulsory for you to stay in the hostel. So if you want, there are a lot of localites and you can opt to stay out as well.
Okay, so that is something which is still all right. So if you are, if you are taking admission to Symbiosis BBA, when it comes to the campus life is concerned, definitely campus life, you would be able to get the campus. If you're really craving for it, you would get the campus life. Okay, but there are certain, certain festivals which possibly might be happening. Let's start with the campus life. I think campus life cannot be discussed without the dress code, right? So what exactly the dress code is? Are there any restrictions? Is everything allowed? How exactly does dress code work? Starting with you, Anika.
Okay, so our uniform, the official Symbiosis uniform, is very, very basic navy blue trousers, white shirt with a blazer, but you're only supposed to wear that on Mondays. Now, the rest of the week, we try to follow a more formal dress code. So that is mainly applicable for Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. And Fridays are casual days. So you can dress, in a more casual outfit, say jeans or something like that. But obviously, it's a management college and you're expected to maintain the decorum. And so because of that, there are some restrictions, say, no crop tops, no sleeveless tops for girls, and then no shorts for boys, just basic restrictions like that. But honestly, I didn't find it very very hard to follow. It's a college after all. So, I mean, the dress code is a part of it and it's not too strict, I'd say.
It is not too strict, but something I would like to tell everybody here. When it comes to management, the way we have Symbiosis, all the management schools will definitely provide you with a particular dress code, a blazer, formal, just to kind of tune you guys for the life ahead. Okay. What about boys? Raghu, if you would want to cover that.
So for boys, as Anika mentioned, we do not have a very strict dress code. But again, you're supposed to, so with management, you're supposed to dress formally. So to break down, Monday is the uniform. Tuesday, we have to be very strict formals. Again, Wednesday, Thursday, semi-formals. So you can, like the boys or the girls can come in polo t-shirts and jeans, that works. And again, Friday is casual. So as long as you're wearing decent clothes, it's not an issue. So as long as you're not coming in shorts or say track pants, so other than that, everything works.
Fantastic. So basically, there are certain rules which everybody will have to follow. Okay. Tell me something. With your campus life, I think the faculty plays a very important role. All right. With your and your campus life, how approachable are they? Whoever wants to go first, I would leave the ball to your coach.
All right, so I'll take that. So when it comes to approaching the faculty, I think they're very approachable because one detail I like to tell you all is that so for lectures we do have a few set of experiential hours, which are specially designed to basically we do not have to compulsorily attend that lecture. It's like you do not have to go to class. So you can that lecture is specially designed for you to reach out to faculty. Let's say you want to go and study a specific topic that they've already covered or any doubts. So we have a specific set of experiential hours that are designed specially for us to, reach out to the faculty and make it more approachable in a way. So I think that really helps out for any student who wants to approach faculty outside the class system and let's say understand a specific topic or a specific doubt. So I think that way it helps the students a lot in reaching out to the faculty.
Yes, I completely
Fantastic.
agree.
Anika, would you like to add something?
Yeah, sure. So yeah, I agree with Ragvi completely, and also I'd like to add that SEMS also offers these tutorial classes which they schedule every single week. So 3 days a week they have tutorial classes on every single course offered. So in case someone is having difficulties in any of these classes or a specific topic, they can always go and attend those extra tutorial classes which are scheduled outside class hours, and that always helps to clear out any additional doubts.
Fantastic. So definitely universities taking those, making sure that students are not falling back and the doubts are very much clear, which is great. Okay, let's talk about when we talk about the campus life, how can we not talk about the festivals? Okay, so can you guys talk about what kind of symbiosis it has, considering you both have part of festivals? Okay, so can you give a little bit more info on the festivals?
Sure. So, Symbiosis's annual college fest is called Simpulse, and this is actually considered the biggest fest. Now, Simpulse it was started in 2009, and it currently has 5 different wings. It has a cultural wing, a sports wing, a headline event wing, an MUN, a business fest, and stuff like that. It's a huge festival, and it's widely attended by people all around the city and way beyond. Also has lots of celebrity attendees and stuff like that, and it's known for being one of the most fun event on campus. So yeah, it has lots of little events, lots of things to do, and it's a very vibrant experience. So yeah, that is the annual fest offered by SEMS.
To add to Anika, when it comes to the traditional festivals that we all celebrate, like Diwali, Holi, all of that. So when it comes to those festivals, Symbiosis is like has a very cultural approach to that. So we have a cultural committee that is called the Cultcom, and the entire purpose of the committee is basically to host festivals. So let's say you can take Onam, Diwali, Holi, Halloween. We even have a homecoming. We have proms. So when it comes to festivals, you will start attending festivals you did not even realize were there or existent. So they're like almost all festivals that are possibly there are celebrated in Symbiosis on a very huge scale. So for that part, I think Symbiosis is great, and yeah, you will be attending all festivals, and they have a very high take on that.
That is very interesting. Okay, now tell me something when it comes to the committees are concerned. As you said that there is a cultural committee which takes care of the events which are happening. How exactly Symbiosis is helping students with the committees, and what exactly students gain out of that? Starting with you, Anika.
Okay, so one thing about Symbiosis, like Ravi mentioned, there are 25 plus clubs and committees. So firstly, there is a place here for you, no matter what interests you have, be it like a performing arts such as dancing, singing, performing arts, drama, or like Ravi is the head of the entrepreneurship cell. We also have cells for finance, for marketing. There's a social outreach cell called Initiate. There's every single one of your interests, no matter what it is covered by one of these cells. So, you can always be a part of doing something you love over here, and you can meet like minded people who are in the same clubs as you. So, firstly, it's a great opportunity for making like minded friends. Apart from that, you get to participate in a lot of college events, you get to organize these events, so you also get to network, you get to, your event management skills are also, developed in these ways. And apart from that, it's a great way to expand your horizons and also make lots of friends.
Fantastic. Raghavi, you would like to add anything to that?
Sure. So to add to that, I think the biggest help that Symbiosis does is by not helping. And when I say that is they give you so much autonomy when you come to college because in school you're used to, the teachers telling you what to do and how to do it. So that does help you, of course. But I think the biggest help in Symbiosis is that you're given the freedom to plan events even when it comes to sponsorship. So they let you go out from beginning from the budget of the event to the entire compliance, and let's say the event management, sending out invites, the SMG, all of it is entirely on you. So even though you sort of kind of being stressed about everything, that is how I think I have learned the most in my first year, by trying out, by making mistakes. So yes, Symbiosis helps you a lot like that. They are only there to help you facilitate the events, but they give you entire freedom on what you want to do. You can ideate new events, you can bring up your own events. We even go out ourselves for getting sponsorship deals. So when it goes to reaching out to companies, networking, negotiating deals, I think that is entirely student regulated. And I think that is the biggest help and the biggest learning that you get out of Symbiosis.
That is very interesting. I think this committees also kind of put a stepping stone for you guys, for you students to learn the people management skill, to understand how the leadership works. Okay, because this is kind of a mock drill for you to take up an event and kind of work it on like a project. So fantastic on that. Okay, let's take a few questions. I have a lot of questions coming in the Q&A box, and then we talk about anything which is left. I think maximum of you are looking at placements because that becomes a criteria for a lot of students. Okay, so we will talk about that after we have covered a few questions. What was the cut for last year, ma'am? I'm going to share the link. Okay, this particular link will provide you with the cutoff. So I'll just give you the details of just a moment. Okay, I'm not able to recollect it, but yes, before I finish this off, I will definitely give you this information. Do we have to write the test in the same city or college we are applying to, or we can write the test in any example I want to apply? Do I have to? No, no, no. So for example, I am a student, I'm applying for a Pune campus. I will write my test in Delhi. I don't have to go to Pune, or I don't have to go to Noida or Badar. Your home city, the centers will be available for you there to write the test. Okay, so don't worry on that. You're not traveling anywhere to write the test. MCQ based, or there will be subjective too. MCQ based. There will be subjective too, but MCQ based will definitely be expected. Where exactly can I see which BBA course is available in which branches of Symbiosis? It's not available properly in the website. Symbiosis have 5 campuses. All 5 campuses have BBA. Okay. So if you guys want to know more about it, I am sharing a document with you all. I hope you can. Okay, here it is. Download this. This will give you all the details. Okay. Just download this particular document. It has, okay, I think it is something which has gone to panelists. I'll do it again. This particular document basically will give you everything you need, everything, starting from the cutoff, the placement, numbers, everything. So that document will be very helpful. Okay, next question. What are the specializations available for BBA? Okay, Ravi, can you please help the students again with the specialization?
Sure. So, as we mentioned that there's a new education program according to which we have a cafeteria approach, where we basically have a list of majors and a list of minors, and then you have the option of taking either a general BBA where you keep on changing your subjects every semester, or you can go for one specialization, which is basically you take one major and you keep switching the minor in every semester, and then there is a specialized major and a specialized minor. So there's a different list for the minors. For the majors, you have basics, you have marketing, finance, human resource. One is for environmental studies, one is international business, and then there's data analytics. So from these, you can pick one of your majors, and then there's a list of minors which are almost the same. So you can have like a marketing major and a finance minor, or like that, you can make combinations according to your own choices.
Okay, so you can make combination according to own choices. Anika, would you like to add something to that?
Not really. I think she covered it all.
Fantastic. All right. What other questions do we have? What is the ratio of selection in college if out of 100? Every year, almost 10 to 12,000 odd students appear for the Symbiosis program. Now, you can imagine the kind of, even 10 to 12 would be a little bigger. Let's say around 5 to 6, 10 to 12 would be possibly IIM. But for 5 to 6,000 students appear. Now, understand something. Symbiosis has around 1,630 seats. I think math's going to be very simple. Out of 1,630 seats they have across all programs, across liberal studies, across, I'm talking of something which is BBA IT, BSc Eco, in mass communication, BBA IT, all these programs, 1,630. So the chances would be pretty good if you are kind of applying for it. So I think don't think too much. My suggestion would just go ahead and apply. Which type of BBA has had the highest placement last year? The highest placement which BBA which Joseph had was 10 per annum. It was either of you help me with which specialization got that? Anika, either of you, if you're aware of this.
So last year when that placement was offered, they didn't offer specializations as such. There were no major and minors. But so they were just having, a general BBA. But that placement was offered by MyGate and it was in the marketing role. So I'm assuming that
Okay.
the student who got that studied marketing.
Fantastic. So it was it was one. What is the average package I just mentioned? So the median is something which I would be able to tell you. The median was around 6.9. The highest was 10 lakh. Somebody's asked what is the highest package. So am I still there? Am I still connected? Can you guys hear me? I
Yes,
guess
we
no.
can.
Okay, because everything freezed on my screen, so I was not really okay. Now coming back to the student asking the average package for BBA course. The average package for the BBA is so the median is 6.9 and the highest package was 10 lakh. That was for. Okay, let's look at the next question. What all major options available in all colleges for Symbiosis? Ragvi, if I understand correctly, the major options will be similar across campuses, or is it any different?
So I'm not sure on how the Noida and Bangalore campuses are working as of now. But if I'm not wrong, I think it should be working on a similar program.
Fantastic. And even I am, I would kind of look at the same thing that it would be working out the same way. Now, somebody is asking about a BBA specialization better or a general BBA better. Okay, can somebody help the student? Is a specialization in BBA better or a general BBA better?
So
Anika,
sure.
it's okay, it's okay. We go ahead. It's okay. Anika can cover up later.
Yeah, so I think personally that would be a very subjective choice. But if I give my opinion on that, I think if you're clear on what you want to do, say you want to pursue a master's later, and if you're sure on what role you're interested in, I think a specialization is always better because that looks like you're sure of the choices and the career that you're looking forward to. But again, if you're someone who hasn't decided as to what they want to pursue as of now, then a general BBA is always a safe option.
Anika, would you like to add to that, please?
Sure. So I second that. I mean, again, it's very subjective, but in my personal experience, I was clear that I wanted to pursue a career in finance. So I have taken up the finance major with a business analytics minor. And I think that was a very beneficial decision. And I'm really learning things which are applicable to my stream. And I think it's helping a lot, to shape the direction in which I'd like to pursue my career. So if like she said, if you are sure or if you have a general idea about what your interests are and what you like to do in your career, I'd say take a specialization rather than a general BBA.
Also, I'd like to add another point.
So
So,
specialization.
yeah. So I'd also like to add another point. I have a few of my friends who've also, so Symbiosis also gives you the liberty to take on a specialization. And if you realize later on that that's something that's not working for you, so you could always opt back into a general BBA and drop your specialization, and you could change your subjects next semester. So I think for a convenient way, I think you could always go for a specialization. And let's say you decide on taking a general BBA later, you could drop out of the specialization and switch to a general BBA.
Fantastic. So you ideally have the option of switching to a specialization or the general, which is great. Okay, now let's talk about either of you are staying in hostel, Ragvi or
Yes, I'm in the hostel.
okay. So student, fantastic. Now a student is asking about the hostel. One of the questions what we have got is how is the hostel life and the accommodation.
Right. So again, I think the hostel life is actually really nice. We do have a few curfew timings, so we have to come back every day before 10:30. And I think when it comes to the living and the accommodation, I think it's really nice and hygienic as compared to a few hostels that I have seen. It's not very congested. So it's dual sharing. We actually have 3 to 4 girls hostels, and there's this one big boys hostel. So for the girls hostels, you have 3, 4 options where you can opt for a double sharing room or a triple sharing room. And I think, yeah, they're pretty good. The hostel food, again, it's hostel food, but then I think as compared to other hostels that I've seen, it's pretty good. And yeah, it's very safe. It's actually really fun. I think the first year you should actually have a hostel experience, and then probably you can move out in your second or your third years.
Okay. So anyone who is probably looking forward to experience hostel life, Symbiosis will definitely kind of provide you a good experience when it comes to the hostel life concerns. Okay, so which Symbiosis branch has an option for business analytics?
Okay, I'm not very sure about the other branches. I just know for a fact that Symbiosis offers it as a minor, not as a major. Just to note that you can take up this course as a major. It's only applicable as a minor course. But I'd say for the other branches, I think you should might have to check with other students from those branches or online, because I don't want to speak about that if I'm not fully sure.
No worries at all. But if you are looking at business analytics, what you can do is you can go onto their website and then you will have to check their curriculum. And the curriculum would definitely give you the options of the majors and the minors, which that particular center offers. As per my knowledge, all the Symbiosis offers a similar kind of a major minor options. There are no changes. But if you want to go ahead and check that. Okay. Can you apply in multiple Symbiosis colleges at once? Is there a limit? No, there is no limit. You can apply in multiple campuses as well. A lot of students do that. Okay, Anika, I think this question you would be able to kind of answer. If student will have to appear for finance, as you said that you wanted to pursue finance, would you say BSc finance would be better, or a specialization in finance would be better, or a BA fintech would be something which would be better according to you from your personal thoughts?
Okay, so my personal thoughts, if you would like to have a broader scope and also have study management while pursuing your finance related studies, I think a BBA would be better with a specialization in finance. Apart from that, for finance, there are many courses which you can take apart from your college, such as the CFA, which is what I am pursuing. So over there, I think a BBA and a CFA give me the combination which I'm looking for my selected career path. But apart from that, if financial technology is something you're very sure that you want to get into, then obviously the fintech course offered by I'm not sure which university, but that would be a good pick. But apart from that, I think I'm getting a very well-rounded education by pursuing a BBA with a specialization in finance. So I would definitely recommend that.
Which works pretty well considering the college has a legacy and definitely a very strong hold. Now let's talk about a lot of questions which we are getting, which is around placement. Okay, we both have been coordinators for the internship and internships and the placement. Let's talk about internship and placement. How exactly internship? Let's speak about internship first. Maybe if you would like to possibly add how exactly internship work with Symbiosis.
Right. So I think with internships, so there's a specific cell, which is an extension of the placement cell, which is the internship and career development cell. And me and Anika both were a part of it. It is as internship coordinators, where the entire role basically is reaching out to HRs to come up for an internship opportunity in the college. So even if you're not an internship coordinator, the internship opportunity is rolled out to all the batches, and then again you have a chance of applying, and again whoever is picked out, that's based on interviews, and there's a particular procedure that the companies follow. But when it comes to, there's this one rule that should be noted, that if you've taken up one internship opportunity, until you're in the last week of that specific internship, you cannot apply for the next internship offered by the ICDC this thing extension. So that basically allows everyone to have an equal and fair chance, so that not one student is getting all the internship opportunities. And when it comes to the number of internships that we've been getting, so I think that is really good. Around every week this year, they've been getting around 1 to 2 emails that we've been getting about internships. So the space of the internships is really nice. You have like 2 to 3 internship opportunities every 2 weeks that come up. So you can surely go for it. And I think when it comes to the placement cell as well, they try to get up internship opportunities in all fields, so that whatever career you're trying to pursue, you can kind of get a gist of it through the internships.
That was very much detailed, Bradley. Thank you so much. Anika, would you like to cover if you would like to add something to what we have mentioned?
Sure. So, like she said, we offer almost 6 to 7 new internship opportunities per month, which is a really good number. And from my experience, it's much harder to land, much easier to land these internships than ones you apply individually, say through websites like LinkedIn, Internshala. You have a much higher chance of getting this, and it's a great exposure overall. It gives you practical experience alongside your academic curriculum. And apart from that, we also have something called a corporate internship after your fourth semester, which is a compulsory part of your curriculum. Now, this corporate internship, or the CI, it involves 240 hours of in-office internship experience. And some of these corporate internships are offered by the placement self itself, or you also have the liberty to look for them yourself, but it is compulsory. But yeah, you also get that internship experience as a part of your curriculum, and you always have the liberty to look for more. And I think the curriculum is not that strenuous, so you always have the time on your hands to do an internship alongside your studies here at Symbiosis.
Fantastic. So when we do internship, it becomes very critical, and Symbiosis provides the complete support to the students. It's very evident here. Now let's talk about the placement aspect of it. Okay. So the placement option, is it available in the third year, or now it is moved to the fourth year? How exactly does it work, Amit?
So you can sit for placements after your third year or your fourth year. It depends on when you choose. Like, you can either choose a 3-year program, which is just a general, a BBA without your honors, or you can sit for a 4-year program, which is your BBA with honors. But you can sit for placements in both years according to your choice.
Okay, it will be according to your choice. Fantastic. So, Ragvi, when it comes to placement concern, do Symbiosis, definitely with internships, you kind of get hang of how exactly does it work. But how does Symbiosis prepare students, for the whole process of placement? Are you, can you just kind of give us a little insight on that?
Sure. So, I don't think there's a specific process that they have of helping out with the placements, but I think they have a very well-rounded approach to that. Like, we do have a lot of guest lectures and guest sessions that we have, which overall throughout the year help you out with internships. And then again, you can anytime reach out to faculties for any specific, let's say, as you want, or any specific help you want. Other than that, I think by the time I really suggest for anyone who's coming to Symbiosis to opt for internships, because I think that really gives you a gist of how to perform in interviews. So I think they have a very well-rounded approach to it, but there's no specific procedure that they have before the placements that helps out with the interviews.
All right. They don't really have any specific process. With this, I also want to shed a little bit light with the first introduction, what Anika mentioned, which was she being a part of the GIP program, and she would be going to Berlin because she's a part of the student exchange program. Anika, can you give a little bit more details on that and how students can be take benefit of that?
Sure. So Symbiosis has multiple partner universities all across the globe. They have some in Germany, in France, in Singapore. So the procedure for this is very simple. You need to have some requirements such as a 7.5 CGPA in all 3 semesters leading up to the time you apply for this. Apart from that, there are just certain disciplinary and attendance criteria which you must meet to be a part. After this, it's a very simple application and interview process. And once you are selected, you can spend a semester abroad at the partner university of your choice. So under this program, I'll be spending 1 semester at the Berlin School of Economics and Law in Germany, and I'll be spending 7 months over there next year. And yes, so your credits are transferred to an extent, but one downside of this program is that you have to give both exams for your home university and your partner university abroad. So it's slightly hectic in that way, but it will be a great experience with the travel and the international exposure.
Definitely, it will be a great exposure, and all the best for that experience.
Thank
I think we
you.
covered all the possible aspects here. Okay, let's look out for questions. I have questions here, so let's take one question at a time here now. Okay, all right, quite many questions. Which other university you can go for the exchange program? Anika, could you be able to answer that?
Okay, so some of the universities which were offered under the program this year are, like I mentioned, the Berlin School of Economics and Law. Then we had one called the DHBW, Karlsruhe, and 2 other, Heidenheim, and 2 others, which I can't recall. Other than that, we had one called the IESE Paris in France. There was also some paid universities in UK and in Canada. The other universities I forgot to mention, these are actually tuition waiver universities, meaning you don't have to pay your fees for the foreign university where you're studying. These are completely free, whereas the other ones in UK and Canada are paid, meaning you have to pay your fees at Symbiosis and as well as the partner university. But I think there is more information available on the NA website, so you can go through that for the complete list of all the partner universities offered under this program.
That was very much detailed, and I hope it kind of answers all the question there. One of the students is also asking about the timing. I think this is very practical. What are the timings of the college? Can you take up this question?
Sure. So, as I mentioned in the first year, you don't really get to pick classes. But again, the SEM 1 and SEM 2, I would say, are very light because they understand that you're new to college and you're kind of figuring out on the other extracurriculars as well. So, I think for semester 1, we had classes from around 8:30 to 12:30. And if you don't have, so it actually varies every day. So you'll have a specific timetable for every day. You have different timings. So it goes on for 8:30 to 12:30, or sometimes it's like 10:30 to 3:30. The maximum, the longest day that you can have is from 8:30 to 4:30. But again, this is only for the first year where you have a fixed schedule. From the second year, as we mentioned, you have a chance to pick your majors and minors. So we also have options to pick our own timetable where we have 3 to 4 lectures scheduled for each major. So you can select your timetable according to your own convenience from the second year.
Fantastic. So it is completely flexible, but it's rigorous, but they're balancing out pretty well in what it looks like. Okay. So you are from the hostel, and there's a question coming for the hostel. You said that everybody needs to experience it, but you also have to understand a lot of procedures, and one person wants to understand are there too many procedures, involved for you to go out of the hostel? What are the rules?
All right. So there are not a lot of rules that are there with the hostel. It's actually pretty simple. We just have a register, which is actually a very safety concern. You just have to write your name when you're leaving out, and as soon as you come in, you just put the time and a signature. Other than that, as I mentioned, there's a curfew for 10:30, and on weekends it's slightly longer. You can stay out till 11 p.m. So yeah, even if you want to, like, let's say you're going back home or you want to stay over at a friend's house, you always have an option of taking a night out where your parents just have to mail that you'll be taking a night out, and then it's very simple. It's not a very heavy procedure. You can just mail a night out and you can go out.
Okay, so it's not really that difficult. Even I was expecting it to be like, because hostels tend to be like that, but it's nice. So somebody's asking, are the hostel rules very strict, or will you be allowed to go out once in a while? I think you definitely got the answer. You would be allowed to go once a while. Okay. We have a lot of questions. Do you get to pick the lectures, or is it fixed? Very practical questions. Anika, would you like to take this up? Do you know, is the lectures fixed, or you get to pick whether you would be attending one or two?
So in your first year, your lectures are fixed. Throughout your first year, everyone, no matter what you'd like to study, you have a common timetable. So you can't pick any of your lectures in your first year. But in your second year, once you start picking your majors and your minors, then you can choose your classes. But even for your major and minor, across the major, everyone has to study the same course in a semester. But while picking your timetable, say you picked finance, you have 3 different finance classes offered by 3 different professors and all offered at different times. So that way you can customize the timings of your classes, and you can build your daily or your weekly timetable in that way. But apart from that, you really can't pick your lectures in your first year. It's common for everyone.
Fantastic. Common for everyone. I think we have covered almost everything what we can to make sure you guys get an idea. A lot of you are asking questions which are really, way too in depth. Okay. Now you have to understand that this particular session is for an hour, and I would be able to cover a certain section for this particular hour. Okay, which I have already done. If you have further questions, if you want to kind of understand more information around the program, what my suggestion would be, please, and make sure that you go on their website and go through it. You will get all the information you are looking at. Okay, and the information would definitely be clear enough. In case if you don't have the answer, you can always get in touch with us. We'll be more than happy. I have shared the document. Unfortunately, the document is just kind of self and not really reached right. But thank you so much for joining in. And if you are looking at, I'm also looking at that particular, unfortunately, my whole, in the internet is playing up because of I'm not really able to get a lot of information for you guys. I'm trying to get that. I would be making sure that whatever questions you have, if you want, you can always put it on Instagram or YouTube, or if you want to connect some mentor, you will be able to do that. and we would be able to answer this to end the session here because we are already done for an hour. And that's what I requested Anika and Raghavi for. Thank you so much, Anika, for joining in for the session. Whatever information you have provided to us, definitely it is helpful for a lot of students who would be even watching it on YouTube to kind of understand, what they need to make when it comes to symbiosis. Okay, and thank you so much for taking our time and doing this for us. You have a lovely day. And thank you so
Thank you.
much, everyone, for joining in. A lot of you, go ahead.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you, ma'am. It's been a great experience, and all the best to everyone who's joined.
Yeah, all the best to all of you.